Great. Well, welcome. I'm delighted to have you all with us today. My name's Katie Cannon. I'm the Curator of Education at the DAR Museum, and we are hosting a virtual World's Fair here in July of 2020. So joining me today are Jun Chu and Linda Liang with the Asian Cultural Center and Fusion Gallery in Washington, DC. And so especially for this event with Hua Plus, they made a video series that shows you how to cook several Chinese dishes and also teaches you how to say and write the names of them in Chinese. So check out those videos if you haven't already. I'm planning to try making the Kung Pao chicken. It looks really good.
Thank you.
So June and Linda, could you start by telling us a little bit about yourselves and why it was that you wanted to make these videos?
Yeah, sure. My name is Jun, and then working for the Hua Plus and also Asian Fusion Gallery. And then the video we are making is like learning Chinese from cooking. This video series is mostly about like combine the two Chinese cultural icon, food and calligraphy together to show our audience who are interested in Chinese culture with some basic knowledge. Not only how to make the food, but also how to read and write the food name you just learned in Chinese calligraphy, which is writing of Chinese characters as an art form. Chinese cuisine is important part of Chinese culture, which includes like cuisine originating from diverse regions of China as well as from overseas Chinese who have settled in the other parts of the world. And Chinese calligraphy is combined the pure visual art and interpretation of the literary meaning. So that's why we would like to show all these cultural icons into one videos and let audience to know the food and calligraphy at the same time. So hopefully all the people will enjoy it. And then if you have any thoughts and please don't hesitate to contact us and do share with us. All right, that's yeah. So that's basic introduction of this video series and how we would like to make it.
Great. Thank you very much. And Linda?
Hi, Kate. Hi, Jean. Thanks for inviting. I'm Yi Liang. My English name is Linda. I work for Asian Culture Center in New York City. I'm so glad to be here to share my experience about Chinese calligraphy. It's also my pleasure to be a part of the video created by Jun and our co-workers. When Jun told me her idea that she wanted to combine food, calligraphy, and other cultural elements together in the video, I believe it would be fun. So I said, yes, please, let's try. I was born and grew up in a cultural family in China. When I was 8 years old, my grandpa started teaching me calligraphy and Chinese painting. Many years of calligraphy and painting study gave me a strong interest in art and aesthetics. So when I was in college, I chose art history as my major and had a concentration of Chinese calligraphy and painting. So yeah, this is me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. It's it's a delight to have you both here. Now, June, it looks like you're wearing something a little special. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure, of course. The clothes I'm wearing now is more like a hanfu name in Chinese, and which is more likely innovation of the like oldest like hanfu style. And then for this hanfu, there's no any like bottoms on the clothes. You need to use all the like the strings over here, all the strings to tie up all the clothes. And then yeah, and then it's more like comfy clothes for people to wear, even to work and also to do some hard working. And if you would like to do like writing, painting, and it's also the clothes to wear. And there are normally 3 layers of this clothes. One is an innerwear, and another one is like in the between of the out clothes, and the other one is for the more like coat. And then yeah, so for the materials is more likely different. So for now, this is more like a linen materials I use, and then some in the other part, most likely people use like cotton or the or the special Thai colors in the southeast part in China. They would like to use. I believe the name of the technical is 炸染, which is blue coloring of the clothes. And then, yeah, so for most styles, we can either with a skirt, like a very long skirt, or you can just either to go with just the pant. It's all in terms of like what's the lifestyle or what like occasion is. If you go to the dinner with the friends, you would like to go like more formal style with the skirt. If you just hanging around with friends or stay at home, you can just go the comfort style, just the pants and also like one layer of the clothes.
Oh, wow, that sounds really versatile and comfortable, especially like it sounds like something I'd like to wear in the summer.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So for nowadays, there's more and more like young generations. They discover the beauty of the hanfu, and then they like redesign the hanfu into the modern style. Like more and more like young people to like this style and to design different clothes for different like occasions. And like, yeah, I know like more like for now on, like much more like young generations and people, they would like to gathering together and to show the beauty of the hanfu in the public area, like the subways, restaurants. They even wear this to the cinema or watching the movies sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I was thinking we could also get started with some food. Talking about food. I love food.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you have did either of you have favorite foods when you were kids?
Oh yeah, definitely. So the place I grew up is in the middle part of the China. The middle part of China, which is named Henan province. The famous food of the Henan province is noodle. So my go-to food in my childhood definitely must be noodle, and especially when you go home after school, felt so exhausted and hungry, and nothing would be better than a hot bowl of noodle soup. Either I would like to go with breast beef noodle or just simple tomato and egg noodle. The best would be stir-fry noodle with any veggie and meat. It makes you feel very warm and satisfied after a hot pot of noodle soup. So for the next video ideas, I'm thinking to make noodles from scratch, and then use the noodle I make and to make the noodle soup and also the stir-fry noodles.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Yeah.
So Linda, what about you?
Yeah, I like a lot of dishes in my hometown. I was born in Hangzhou. Hangzhou's local cuisine is considered to be a representative of Zhejiang provincial cuisine, which is one of the China's 8 fundamental cuisines. The local accepted consensus among Hangzhou's native different dishes prepared in those styles to be fresh, tender, soft, and smooth with mellow fragrance. Hangzhou is located near Yangtze River in southeast of China near Shanghai, where the climate is mild. The local people enjoy a light diet, incorporating river fishes. The rich history of city provides the local people with stories revolving the origins of local dishes. My favorite dish is 片儿川 noodles, Westlake vinegar fish, 东坡 pork, 龙井 shrimp, beggar's chicken, Tsos fish soup. Dishes.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So you can get them in a Chinese restaurant. They are really tasty in training. I strongly recommend you to visit Hangzhou.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, those are so fancy food, and yeah, the name is so fancy to hear, and people would love to taste all this food.
All right, I will take a moment to.
Yeah, actually, it's a very different. Okay.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, taste and flavor is really different from from south to north, from east to west in China. So yeah, we have, I think it's a really different. We have sweet, savory food, sour food. We have noodles. We have rice and other flour food. Wonton, dumpling, bao. Things I miss them very much.
Oh, now one thing I sort of wonder is if you go to a Chinese restaurant in America, do you find the same kinds of foods as over in China, or are they different? Have they made them more like what Americans look for in food?
Yeah, so definitely. So for now, this is kind of like big difference than the United States and Chinese food culture is, and so for in the United States, America, and then all this Chinese food is more like remake into the way American people like more sweet, more sour, and more sour taste. And then so in the Chinese, the authentic Chinese food is more like combine it's not only the sweet but also the spicy and also the sour and also the other flavors like all the spice powder to make the food is more flavorful and more like more difference. So yeah, definitely people like to, in order to come in and settle down to this country, and all the Chinese chefs they in order to make American people like the Chinese food, they have to make changes. Yeah, so definitely. And then but the good thing is, like, for now there are so many like Chinese restaurants in the United States, you can taste actually the authentic Chinese flavor more and more.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's what I'm interested in. I want to know how the foods really taste.
yeah, it's much different than just like Panda Express. It's if you go in, the Panda Express is more like American food than the Chinese food.
American.
But if you go any like local town for the Chinese restaurant, there are more and more chefs they willing to make the authentic Chinese food.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will point out too, while we're broadcasting this live, anyone who's watching us live, either through Zoom or on YouTube, feel free to type in questions that you have, and we'll happily convey them to June and Linda.
Yeah, we would love to answer all the questions you guys have.
Right. So one thing I was wondering, so looking through the videos of all these wonderful recipes, they look really good, and I noticed that some of them use meat. So my husband is a vegetarian, and so if we wanted to cook them so that he could enjoy it too, is there something else that we could use instead of the meat?
Oh yeah, sure, of course. So all kinds of the mushrooms actually a good food substitute. Yeah, so like the mapo tofu we made in the video. Yeah, we are going to upload this mapo tofu video very shortly, and the mushroom can be used instead of the meat. You can just like dash the mushroom into the small square cube and use it as a meat, and then you can get all this like mapo flavor and also the meat texture as well, because the mushroom texture is more likely the meat texture. And also for the dumpling and the balls I made in the video, you can just use vegetarian fillings like garlic chives and also garlic chives and also a Chinese leek and eggs. Mix them together with all the soy sauce, oyster sauce, seasoning oil, and salty, and the tasty is even better than the meat.
Oh wow! All right, I'll have to try that then.
And also, if you have the cabbage, and also you can go with the cabbage as well.
Oh, okay, great. So we've had a couple questions come in.
Great.
Someone says, "Hi, my friend told me in China they don't have General Tso's chicken. Is that true?" So that's something you often see in Chinese restaurants in America.
Yes, for the General Tso's chicken, is not typical Chinese cuisine. It's more like a typical Chinese Western food. Yeah, so it's more invented to the American people. I believe the General Tso's chicken invented when the first immigration came to the United States as the labor like the foreign laborers in the American, and then all the laborers, like the workers, they mix the country food, but they don't have all the elements, ingredients in the United States. So they invent this food, like according by their emanation of the hometown flavor to invent this chicken flavor in the United States. So that's most like American dish, American Chinese dish. Yeah.
Oh, neat. So it's like a blend.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
And then we had another question from the videos. I saw that you used chicken powder in many of the dishes. What is it and where can you purchase it?
Oh, yes, the chicken powder. Yeah, so many people ask me, it's more like you can purchase this at any like Asian supermarket, or even if you have the international part in the like a store, and if you go to the space, I believe you can find the chicken powder just on the label said chicken powder.
So does it, I'm sorry, my ignorance, does it have chicken in it or is it meant to go with chicken?
Oh, it's just more like a flavor. It's more, you can use this as white pepper, black pepper, and then you can go this with no chicken dish. You can just go this with any veggies, and you can go this with any noodles, even meat. But if you don't have the meat, the chicken powder, the purpose of chicken powder is to give the rich flavor of the food.
Okay. And then Donna wants to know what spices are in 5-spice seasoning.
Oh, wow. This is a great question. Yeah. So the 5 seasoning is really sometimes like different chefs, they have different recipe for the 5 spice. And then for the most common, I believe, which is the name is, let me see, is 八角 in Chinese, and in English it would be ants, if you know about this. And also there is 桂皮 in Chinese, but in the English, the 桂皮 is more like cinema, or the most like similar flavor with the cinema. And also the other 5 spice is black pepper, white pepper.
Oh, okay. So it's like a little bit of sweet and then some sort of spicy, it sounds like.
Yeah, sweet, spicy, and give more like rich and savory flavor.
Ooh, that does sound good. Lisa wants to know, does oyster sauce have soy sauce in it? She says she's always looking for things without soy sauce.
Oh, without soy sauce? Wow.
Yeah, do you have any suggestions there?
Yeah, the oyster sauce is actually it's a different thing with the soy sauce, but I don't think there is soy sauce in the oyster sauce. But I believe I saw some videos, they make the oyster sauce from the scratch, which is basically just to use the fresh oyster and cook them until all the soup is more juicy and rich and less of water, and then they can blend them together with more and more like bold mixture.
Wow, that sounds like that would take a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely take a long time to make a bowl of oyster sauce, and
that's why you want to buy a bottle in the store, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Someone wants to know what your recommendation is. What sauce they should use for pot stickers or dumplings.
Oh, pot sticker or dumplings? Oh, yeah. So it's kind of like 2 different styles. The pot sticker is more close to the Japanese and the Korean style. They call this pot sticker. It's more like you have the pan, and it's not like fry the dumplings. And the dumplings in Chinese is you can go either steam the dumplings, or you go with a boiled dumplings, or you can go like fried dumplings. All the like pot sticker is more like fried all the dumplings.
Okay. So the videos included not just cooking, but some instruction in the Chinese language. Linda, I was watching these, and because you're the one who did the calligraphy in the videos, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, oh, that was so impressive. The writing is absolutely beautiful. And
thank you so much.
Now, as someone who grew up learning English like me, the Chinese written language looks really different. it doesn't use an alphabet. So can you describe a little bit about how the Chinese writing works?
Oh, sure. Just like English writing is based on alphabets, Chinese writing is based on Chinese characters. Generally speaking, Chinese characters are composed of 8 basic strokes. I have a sheet, and here is the 8 basic strokes. They are horizontal.
Here, I can make it bigger. There we go, so we can see. Okay.
Yeah, vertical, dot, raisin, throw away, hook, press down, and turning. All characters are actually combinations of those strokes. If you have watched our video, you can find that all names of dishes are composed of these basic strokes. Because I wrote in a regular script, so every stroke can be seen clearly. So please check our video.
Yeah, we have all the instruction in the videos to show each strokes.
Okay, great. So since the written versions of the two languages are quite different, was it difficult for you to learn how to write in English?
Actually, for me, writing English is not particularly difficult. Both English alphabets and Chinese characters are very beautiful. The former is the beauty of simplicity, and the latter is the beauty of order and balance. The shape of Chinese character is square, and most alphabets are round. They seem to be very different in this way. But if we look at it from another angle, they are actually very similar. They are both art of lines, actually. Whether it's Chinese characters or English alphabets, they are made up lines of different shapes and directions. I remember I once had a student in China, a little boy. He was born here and returned to China when he was 9 years old. His mother told me that she found it's too difficult for him to write Chinese characters and hoped that I could give him some training. I found that he likes drawing very much. So I asked him to regard every Chinese characters as a painting that's composed of different lines. When he wrote, he found it's easier because he just need to pay attention to the shape, position, and special arrangement of the lines, just applying drawing skill and a little imitation abilities. So the same way, it's not difficult for me to write English because I have mastered this method.
Wonderful. So we've had a related question come through. Someone says, I found the Chinese calligraphy is so difficult. How can you write it so fast? Also, I find the paper you use is different from what we use. Can you please tell us more about it? Thanks.
I would like to figure out that Chinese calligraphy and Chinese writing are two different concepts. Because not all Chinese writing can be called calligraphy. When we were in primary school, all of us taught calligraphy course in order to better our skills of writing Chinese. But this kind of course focuses more on how to write Chinese characters in a correct way, and they pay not pay too much on technicals or comprehensive understanding of calligraphy. It would be a part of calligraphy, but I'm more inclined to think it as a writing exercise. The quality of writing is closely related to a person's ability of observation and imitation. Because everyone's ability is slightly different. Some people will do better in writing in China, actually. Calligraphy is not just about writing. It's a broader concept. It's closely related to various disciplines such as philosophy, aesthetic, history. In China, there are special majors to study Chinese calligraphy, from undergraduate to PhD. this is a deep learning process, long time. So, cause I started to learn calligraphy when I was 8 years old, so I spent a lot of years to practice and learning. So I can do it in a very fast way. So I think if you want to learn Chinese calligraphy, you can start with regular script. It's slower and easy to learn.
So does everybody in China learn to write beautifully like that, or is there any hope for people with terrible handwriting like me?
I believe there are some people in China have terrible handwriting, cause the imitation abilities and the observation abilities is different from person to person. So yeah, I think it's depend how much effort you spend to learn, and how long you practice it. So the techniques is really complicated. So it's just like painting and other art forms learning in America.
Yeah. I also guarantee you, Kate, in the nowadays in the Chinese school, there are much more people they are bad at calligraphy than the good at calligraphy. Yeah.
Oh, good. I don't feel so bad then.
Yeah, good.
So can you tell us a little bit about the materials, like the paper and the ink that you were using?
Ink is made mainly of salt and animal glue. Liquid ink is modern style. In ancient China, calligraphy and the artists usually use ink stick and ink stone to make ink. The ink stick is ground against an ink stone with a small quantity of water to produce a dark liquid, which is then applied with a brush. Artists and calligraphers may vary the concentration of resulting ink according to their preference by reducing or increasing the intensity and the duration of ink grading. In China, 宣纸, the rice paper, traditionally made in Anhui province, is the preferred type of paper. It's made from rice, the paper mulberry, bamboo, hemp, and other materials. But the 宣纸 is not only the materials used for calligraphy. We also applied bamboo, silk, stone. Cause some calligraphers they use knife to cave on the stone to make calligraphy in ancient China.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the brush is traditional writing instrument for Chinese calligraphy as well. The body of the brush is commonly made from bamboo or other materials such as wood, porcelain, or horn. The head of the brush is typically made from animal hair, such as weasel, rabbit, goat, pig, wolf. There is also a traditional in both China and Japan of making brush using the hair of newborn child as once in a lifetime souvenir. The practice is associated with a legend of an ancient Chinese scholar who scored first in the imperial examination by using such a personalized brush. Chinese brush are widely considered an extension of calligraphy's arm.
Oh, interesting. So we've had a related question then. Lisa wants to know, are there people in China that still view calligraphy skills as a reflection of a person's character? I thought I learned that in the ancient dynasties, it was a strict discipline. So since it's an extension of your arm, is it also an extension of your character, of who you are?
Yeah, because in ancient China, the brush is used widely. but now we use the pen and other like pencil and other things to write. So I think the modern instrument like pen or pencil is easier because they are the head of the pen is firm, but the brush is soft. So it's I think it's easier to use a firm head to write Chinese characters rather than the soft brush.
Oh, okay. She clarified her question. She says she should have said moral character. So not character like the writing, but like how good you are as a person.
Like the personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, so like the personality, like so just like Linda said, so if people can hold, like the brush is not like it's very hard to hold, and if they have the firm hand to hold down and write down the characters the way it should look or the way it should be working, so all the masters will think, wow, this person has a strong mind and has a strong like heart and to deal with the overcome the hardness things. So they will say the people, if they write the letters in very firm and fluent ways, they will say this way. But for the nowadays, all the people change the way of the writing, but the people still thinking if you can write a really good Chinese character, no matter the brush, no matter the pens, they still think you other people are good at learning and good at to interactive with the word and would love to involve with each other.
Okay, interesting. So we've had a question about the writing again. Donna wants to know, English alphabet letters represent sounds. Do the 8 strokes represent sounds, or is it the entire character that has a name?
So I think it's so how do you think? I think
all the stroke. Yeah, so I think like the pronunciation system and the stroke system is 2 different part of Chinese learning. So the first, if you the alpha letters is now connected to the stroke. The stroke is just the way to show how the characters go, but the alphabet is the way independent, like to show you how to pronounce the words. So it's actually like 2 systems for you to learning.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that that's within Chinese, or you're saying that's the comparison between Chinese and English?
Oh, it's
in Chinese.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. In Chinese, the alpha letters is not related to the strokes. Yeah. Okay. It's 2 different things. Yeah.
Well, we had another question come in, or a clarification of going back to the food.
Oh yeah.
We might bounce around a little bit between these two topics. So they wanted to know regarding the dumplings a little more about the sauce. Like what ingredients would go well with in a sauce for dumplings?
Oh wow, the sauce. Yeah, so the sauce is like the most easiest way to make the sauce with dumpling is just use soy sauce, black vinegar, and cinnamon oil. That's it.
Wow, that seems pretty easy. Do you have to cook it then, or do you?
No, you can.
You can add some lao ganma if
right. It's a Chinese famous chili sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like 1 tablespoon soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of the black vinegar, and half tablespoon or 1 teaspoon of cinnamon oil. It makes the sauce. It's really tasty to go with dumpling.
That does sound good.
You can also add some garlic.
Yes. Garlic. Yeah. You can dust the garlic or dice the garlic, and also the garlic. Or I don't think so. Some people use ginger, right? Just the garlic, right?
Yeah,
dice
just
some garlic. Yeah, dice some garlic and into the sauce.
So I've never been to China. So can you tell me a little bit about what are some of the things that are the same as living, because you're both in the United States right now. So what are some things that are the same as living in the United States, and what are some things that are different?
I think both China and the United States have beautiful scenery, diverse cultures, and the people are very friendly. City life is very convenient and busy. People respect cultural diversity and pay attention to healthy diet. The difference, I took some from cultural perspective. The difference is that China has a relatively long history, and each dynasty has its unique cultural characteristics. Chinese culture lie in deeps profound local cultural heritage, and American culture lie in breadth. In the United States, you can see cultures from all over the world. It's like a display in the Metropolitan Museum, like an encyclopedia. So yeah, this is my my feeling.
June, what about you?
Yeah, so for the difference and the similar with these two countries, yeah. So yeah, mostly I agree with Linda's, and yeah, so the most difference is the cultural conflict between those two countries, and then like for the Chinese, like in China, like even people all speak Mandarin, but in the different regions, people actually speak different languages. So there's like more like inner like cultural differences in the China, and also the obvious with the food cultures, the way people eat and the way people cook is so different than these two countries. And also like people would love to celebrate the traditional holidays. There are more and more traditional holidays in China. And then people like celebrate different holidays by different food and by the different ways to celebrate, and also different activities involved as well. And also if we like talk back to the nowadays difference, it's more like the way people to pay. Like in China, like most like people, they would like to go with the pay by their phone, just like WeChat Pay, Alipay. They more and more like zero contact service, and more in the China now, and more convenient for people to live in China, and you don't have to touch anything by ordering your food and buy any tickets, subway tickets, plane tickets, and bus tickets. You just go through by your phone and have the code on your phone, and you can go just the right way. Even your ID card is on your phone right now.
Yeah,
that does
it's
sound
very convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really convenient.
Right.
So you mentioned holidays and festivals. What's your favorite holiday to celebrate?
Oh yeah, so it must be the Chinese New Year for sure. Yeah, it's the biggest
Me
festival, yes, around the year. And yeah, no matter where you are or how long you have been out of home, you must be come back for this festival. And then yeah, so for the festival, it's more like 7 days, even 10 days celebrations. Like each day you have different themes. Each day you have different activities to do. And then the main food for the Chinese New Year must be dumpling, 饺子, well-known 饺子, right? And you can go so much different flavors of 饺子. And then sometimes like in the different part, people eat this 饺子on the Chinese New Year Eve. And some cooks I knew about, like they hiding a clear corn in the 饺子 for lucky to find. Because like a 饺子represent the prosperity and the lucky and the wealthy, because the shape of the 饺子, the dumpling, is more like the currency back in 1,000 years ago people used to buy things. So it's passed on to the nowadays people to think, well, the 饺子 is more like represent the wealthy. So if people have this 饺子 in the Chinese New Year, it means for the next year they will get more and more lucky and wealthy. It's more like traditional thoughts to celebrate the holidays.
Yeah.
Neat.
So my favorite festival is Spring Festival. So during the Spring Festival, I always asked to write Spring Festival couplets. It's a Chinese tradition. So you write down some good wishes on a red paper and post on the door. So expressing good luck and good wishes for next year.
Oh, nice. That sounds very pleasant.
Yeah. And I even still keep this traditional in the United States. In the in the Spring Festival, I used to hang into like white and with the Chinese calligraphy on the door, just to show, hi, this is the holiday now.
Oh, wonderful. I like that. In the United States, we're aware of Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year, but I think maybe what most Americans associate it with is that there's 12 different ones, each with the name of an animal. So like I was born in the year of the dog. So does that have a lot of special meaning, or is it just sort of for fun, or how do people understand that in China?
Different animals represent the different personalities, and it's more likely like if me is from like a year of the dragon, and then for the dragon, and then people like old people in the China, they always say like the dragon will be like the people more like congressive sometimes, and or like more focus, or more like a go-to person, and then like altar person. And if such as the UK, you are the like year of the dog, is more like the warm welcome, and also the people like focus on the details, and also would like to do the way you keep to doing, like you like instate yourself, like you like to keep yourself on this goal and to achieve it.
Yeah, so it's closely related to the characteristic of animals. Like mouse are smart, buffalo are loyal and hardworking. Yeah.
So is it something that people see for fun, or do people take it seriously as something to be aware of?
Oh, it's just the way is just more like a like the Western, like the constellation is more like the constellation in the Western world. It's not a very serious way to judge people by what animal you are. It's just a fun way to get to know people in the first time. If you don't know this one, you can just start with like, yeah, what year are you? And are you like a dog or a dragon? Oh, I'm rabbit. So you can just start the topic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're not going to run into someone at a party and say, "Oh, you're from the year of the rat. I can't be friends with you."
No, there's there's nothing like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but in ancient China, I remember people would judge whether they are suitable for marriage based on the, which animals you are. So yeah, so it's a tradition. But now I think, well, don't care about that.
That's good. That seems like that would be complicated to keep track of.
Yes. If you always keep in mind of this, it will like disturb you in the daily life. Yeah, it definitely.
So we've had another question about writing. They want to know about what about so writing with a brush is one thing, but what about when you're typing on a keyboard? How do you write in Chinese using a modern keyboard?
I think it's similar like import alphabets. The same thing.
Yeah, there is one like special input. If you say there's one use only like strokes in the input, there is one, but I don't think so. For now, there's so many people to use, which name is Wubi input, which use the strokes to compose the word, not only the letters, alpha letters to compose the word. But I don't think so. For now on, there's more and more people to use that. But back to the 1900 or back like 20 years ago, like more people, they would have like some old people, they don't learn the pinyin very well, which is alpha letter, to learn how to pronounce the Chinese word. So they used to learn Wubi, which is just use the stroke to compose the word at first. So there will be each stroke on the keyboard instead of the letters. Beside the letters, there will be a stroke, and then they use all this stroke to compose the word.
Yeah, but I think most people use the alphabet import.
Right.
So cause you import the alphabet, the pronunciation, but maybe there are many characters have same pronunciation. So when we import the alphabets, many characters come up on your screen, then you can choose the right one. So
Okay.
choose, yeah.
Yeah, for
Okay,
our
so-
generations, we are like more into the alpha letter input.
Yeah, when we in primary school, our teachers taught us the alphabet pronunciation first.
Okay, so like if I were going to type your name now June and Linda are your English names. So if I think people can see your name written out on here. So if I was going to write, if I was going to type your last name, say, so I would type the English letters XU.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
and then the character would show up.
Will pop up. Yeah, will pop up.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You just
Will pop
select
up.
the right one.
Okay, so you have to.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had to learn both at the same time, really?
Yes, yes. So that's why it's two different, two systems to learn the Chinese. One is pronunciation, one is how to write. It's by the strokes.
Yeah.
So you have to learn at the same time. But sometimes people prefer to learn the pronunciation first, and then next to learn the word.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see.
So two systems.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, two at once. All right, so we had a couple more questions about food. It's always a popular topic.
Yeah, always food, right?
So are there certain areas, let's see, Lisa wants to know, are there
Mhm.
certain areas of Asia that have more of a connection in culture or food than others? Like like Chinese, Vietnamese, or Vietnamese and Thai. So which areas are more connected by their food?
Oh yeah, so definitely. So yeah, so let's like I said before, like the food is much like diverse from different regions, and different regions people eat different food. If we go like Chinese Thai food, or it's more related to that one, it's more like south, I would say southwest part or the southeast part of it's much more south on the Chinese, and more is the food style is more like Thai. They were used more like spicy and the vinegars and lemons to make the food tasty. And if you go more north to the China, the food tasting is much different. If you go to the northwest, like northeast and or the north, the food is more about use the soy sauce, dark soy sauce, and with the hot pot with the meat and veggies to go to it's more like slow cooking of the veggie and meat. If you go to the north part, if you go to the south, it's more like use the refresh ingredients, refresh meat and veggies to make like small plate of the food. It's more like differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we've had a question from Beverly, who makes fried rice.
Wow.
And she said, but she says that when she makes it, she uses bacon in place of shrimp or sausage, and then she coats it with soy sauce. And she wants to know, I noticed you did not use soy sauce for your recipe. Is it dry that way?
Yeah, definitely. The reason I didn't use the soy sauce in the fried rice, because like I don't want the fried rice more watery. If you use any like soy sauce or cooking wine, it makes your rice more watery and liquidy. Yeah. But you need to keep your fried rice to dry and tasty. So that's the key ingredient. Less spicy and less sauce you put in, the better taste you will get.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I think that's, I don't see any more questions coming in, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So before we leave, did you have anything, Linda or June, anything more that you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, so thanks so much for inviting us for this World Fair online event, and we are really, really enjoying, and it's great like opportunity for us to show the videos we make, and hopefully we will continue to post more and more videos online on our YouTube channel, and don't hesitate to connect with us and leave any comments with us. We would love to improve any videos by yourself, and we would love to interactive with you guys. Thank you so much.
Cool. And Linda, did you have anything else that you wanted to share?
Yeah. So the study of calligraphy has brought me many benefits. Trained my patience and observation skills, and improved my ability of creativity and imagination. of course, every process also brought me a sense of accomplishment. I hope more and more American people could come to learn calligraphy and better understand the culture from China.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you both so much for taking the time to join me. Now, this video is going to stay on YouTube, and in the description, I will put a link to your video series on the cooking and calligraphy, so anyone watching afterwards will be able to see it. So it's been such an honor to have you with us. Thank you so much, and I hope you all continue to be well.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Kate. Thank you. Take care.
Yeah. All right.
Take
bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.